Hi, I'm David Van Houten. I'm a medical technologist. In new terms, also a clinical laboratory scientist. I work quite a bit with microscopes. My first microscope I got when I was 7 and have used them ever since. So we're going to go over the important parts of the microscope, how to take care of them, how to carry them from place to place, what are the parts, how to focus them, how to clean them, and how to put them away. You can't do microbiology without a microscope, so we have to get one. All right, so the first thing, we are at table number 6, so I'm going to go get the number 6 microscope. It's over in our cabinets over here. Okay, these are the microscope cabinets. We have our microscopes over here on this side, starting up here with number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the first thing we want to do is take off the dust cover. Don't carry the microscopes with the dust cover on. The dust covers are slippery. We want to make sure that we have a good hold on our microscopes. And in order to do that, you have to use both hands. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach back and get my hand underneath what's called the arm. And then I'm going to take my other hand and get it ready to get underneath the base. Then I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to hold it close to my body. And then we're going to go over to the desk, holding it just like this. Okay, here we are back at the desk. I'm going to set my microscope down carefully, and then I want to turn it with both hands so that it's set in the place towards the center of the desk where you can still use it. It's important that you have it this way with your desk rather than hanging out over the side. All right, so next thing you're going to do is you're going to plug it in. Now, some people have mistakenly plugged the microscope into the side. That dangles the cord over the top of the desk. And of course, that's where I'm going to be walking, so I'm going to be the one that snags it and pulls it off. So we put it in the center over here in our work area, and then we plug it into the center part of the desks. All of these desks have a plug-in. The code word is Ruby. Okay. So now I'm going to move the microscope so that you can see it, all the parts that I'm going to go over. Of course, we have our cord. Starting at the top of the microscope, we have what are called the oculars. These are your eyepiece. Now, these are bioculars in that they move so that you can adjust them to your eye depth. It's really important that you use both eyes. A lot of people are tempted to just use one, but you get a better picture if you use both eyes. So you can adjust this, and this would be just like if you had a pair of binoculars to fit your eyes. They're also adjustable according to what type of eyes you have. If, like this eye is 20/20, this one's 20/30. So I have to adjust it a little bit. And I would prefer that if you have a problem with that you would talk with your instructor and have them come over and help you get it adjusted. All right, so from the oculars, we then go into what's called the head. Inside the head are mirrors that will help the light change from going in this direction to where it can go through to your eyes. Underneath the head, let's just go around the outside here. This is what we call the arm. As you saw before, this is what you use to carry it with and move it on your table. If you need to move it on your table, be sure to pick it up using both hands on the arm. Don't just scoot it, because then that'll tear the little feet off of the bottom of the microscope. All right, so from here then, of course, we have the base, the other place where you carry it. And then let's go back up here. This is what we call the nose piece. And we have the objectives on the nose piece. And there's this plastic ring right here. That is what you want to use in order to move your objectives with. So it's very important. These objectives down here, or the lenses, we call them objectives, unscrew. And if you are putting your fingers on the objectives, you can unscrew them and they can fall out. So make sure that you're using the nose ring. All right, now notice this microscope is on the low power, and this is the way it should be when it's put away. So you make sure that it's this way when you get it out, and you make sure it's this way when you put it away. Always go back to the low power. Now up here, the oculars, they have a magnification of 10. So then so it's 10 times bigger than what you could see with your naked eye. And then down on this one, the low power is just a 4. So we have a 4 times magnification here, 10 times magnification here. So what you see when you're looking through this is 40 times larger than what is in life. Okay, and like I said, you always start there, and then you'll focus it, and then you'll move to the next objective. These objectives are parfocal. That means once you put it into focus here, and you move using the nose ring to your next objective, it is mostly in focus. These are student microscopes, and they're very durable, but they have some problems. And one of the problems is it's not always, the parfocal isn't always perfect. So you do have to adjust it a little bit with the focus. Okay, so I moved it to the next objective, and this next objective is the 10 power. So, and notice the colors. This one's the red. That's the red. We always go back to it. Okay, and we call this one the red one low dry. And now the one we're on here with the 10 power objective is the medium dry. And I'm emphasizing the word dry. You'll get to that. All right, so this goes 10 here, and this is 10 power here. So the magnification that you see is 100 times larger than what the naked eye is. All right, so we would focus it on this, and then we would want to look at it more in depth, and so we would move to the next objective. The next objective is the 40 power, and that's this blue one. Notice moving it by with the nose ring until it clicks. We're now on the 40 power, which we call the high dry. So this is 40 here, and this is 10 here, so the magnification is 400 times. Okay, the last objective, this is the oil objective, and it takes some very special procedures to use it, which we will be getting into later on in the video. And when the first time you use the microscope, you're not going to go all the way to the oil. You'll just go to the high dry. And then after you master that, then we'll go on to using the oil objective. All right, and of course with the oil objective, we use a special oil. All right, so I'm done looking at this is 100 times magnification. And so this is 10 times magnification. And so we have 1,000 times magnification of what compared to what your normal eye would be. All right, so these are the objectives, and whenever I'm done with the objectives, I always turn it clockwise back to the low dry with the red ring. Okay, so underneath the objectives is the stage. Now the stage holds your slide that you're going to be looking at. And it also moves the slide around so that you can place it where you want it. Up here on the top is what's called the stage clips. And this is what holds your slide. So here we just have a regular slide here. And to put the slide onto the microscope, we pull this lever, and then you place the slide all the way into that corner. So it sets on the stage, and the clip is holding it. And then this part moves, your arm moves over and holds the slide on the stage this way. All right, so then we would find where we're going to position it and then get it to the right place where we want to look. Okay, underneath the stage, we have the condenser. Let's see if I can. Down here in the condenser is a series of lenses that helps straighten out the light. And we also have what's called an iris, down here where it opens it up or closes it down to where more or less light can come through the lenses. Okay, so then of course underneath the condenser we have our light source. The switch for the light source is on the side over here, simply on-off button. And then the adjustment for the light is over on this side, making brighter or less light. Now I'm moving the microscope around quite a bit. Once you are sitting and using your microscope, you won't be moving the microscope around as much as I am. All right, so now we're going to move into the focusing part. In order to do the focusing, you want to start on the low power, and your stage needs to be down. Now, like I said before, these are student microscopes, and so they're not the highest quality as far as some of the manufacturings. They're great microscopes, don't take me wrong, but they're not anything like the microscopes that I would use in a hospital lab. There's a couple of $1,000s difference in the price. And the difference comes from inside here, the gears are nylon that move the stage up and down, and they can be shredded. And we've had that happen. You have to be very gentle when you're moving the stage up and down. Right. So to move the stage up and down, we have the coarse focus knob. And the coarse focus knob is only used with the low dry with the red band on it. So when I start to focus from the side, I'm going to look at my microscope and my stage, and using the coarse adjustment, I'm going to slowly and carefully move it up, and very carefully, don't force it until you just feel it stop. If you force it past that stop, it will rip the nylon gears that are inside here. Good microscopes have steel gears. These are excellent student microscopes, but they still have nylon gears in here, not like the microscopes I would use in a hospital lab. All right, so now once that you are on the low dry, and it's up at the stage at the top, then you can look through. Oh, you've got to have the light on. Adjust your light, adjust your oculars, and then very carefully move the focus knob, the large focus knob, down, very just gently, and it will come into focus almost immediately. Then, after it's in focus there, I'm going to look from the side using the nose ring. I'm going to carefully move it clockwise to the next objective, the medium dry objective. Now remember, I said do not use the coarse adjustment knob on anything except for the low dry. So now we're going to go to the fine focus knob. And while I'm looking through the oculars, I'm going to gently just twist it so that the top is coming towards me and it will come into focus. Then once it's in focus there, we want to look at it bigger. So we're going to go to the high dry. So again, while I'm looking from the side, I'm going to carefully rotate, using the nose ring, rotate on the objective onto the high dry. And then again, I'm going to use just the fine focus while I'm looking through the microscope and just barely move it a little one way or the other, and it will come into focus rather quickly. And if you have problems at this point getting it into focus, stop and ask your instructor for help.